I call out a warm. I pray this devil die and get every evil thing the Lord got to give. And listen, I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Come here, SHALAM. Come here, SHALAM. I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Black people on drugs, and we suffering and dying. And I know it seems like you can do whatever you want to this people. I know it seems like this, but the time for glorifying yourself is soon at an end.
The Christian churches have lied to us, man. The Islam masters lied to black people, man. That's why we die in the streets of America and die in these places of America like that, man. And throughout the whole entire earth. Because we have been taught lies in this place, man. For example, man, the white men put up Sunday as what? As a day of worship. But according to the Bible, Sunday is not the day of worship, black man. It is not the day of worship. When you go do your research, you will see that Sunday is a worship of a sun god called Apollo. That's a Roman god. But they put up this day as a day to be worshipped. Why? So that black people could stay destroyed in this place, man. The Sabbath starts when? They say the Sabbath is on the Saturday, and today ain't Saturday, but it's sundown. From sundown Friday to sundown Saturday tomorrow. That's your Sabbath day, man. That's how the Bible looks at a day. A day is evening, then morning. Let's get it in the Bible. Go to Genesis. Go to Genesis 1 and 5. When God said it, man. God made these days like this, man. Now the white man, he wants to change everything that God laid down. God say ain't right to be a homosexual. What does the white man say? It's another lifestyle. It's an alternative lifestyle. God say do not eat pork. What does the white man say? It's another delicacy. Shrimp, crab, and lobster, the white man call a delicacy, man. When God does not want us eating it, the white man goes totally against God, even down to the days. Read Genesis 1 and 5.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
Right. This was when God separated the darkness from the light. This is the creation of earth. But read on.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
And the what?
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Evening and the morning were the first day. How in the hell can you tell me 12 a.m. 12 a.m. is in the middle of the night? How can you tell me 12 a.m. is in the middle of the night? How can you tell me that Christ was born in the dead of winter? Oh, tell me that the new year is in the dead of winter, December 31st, when everything is dead on this earth, man. The trees ain't got no leaf, ain't no grass in the fields. It's all dead, and you talk about the new year. The white man has lied to us with these days and times, and has us celebrating, has us worshiping his so-called God on Sundays. The God you worshiping on Sunday ain't the God of this Bible. It's a Roman God, Apollo, man. The sun god. Ain't nothing to do with the Bible. Now, give me to Genesis 2 and start at verse 2. Skip it out to Genesis 2, verse 2. Then after that, I want to get this book, man. We're going to show you it was written in the book also too, man. And a book called A Great Controversy, man. Read this.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work.
And on the seventh day, what's that seventh day, man? That 7 days that is sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow. God ended his work day. And he did what?
Which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day.
And he rested on that seventh day. Our rest supposed to start Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, man. That's when the rest day supposed to be. That's your Sabbath day. But give me the book, The Great Controversy. Page Give me page 52. Give me page 52 in that book, man. This is a book written by the white man, and you're going to see in it where he puts that the Sabbath day was not Sunday. Let me show you it in this, man. Read the highlighted part. Read.
The spirit of the concession to the paganism opened the way for a still further.
So the spirit of concession for paganism. Paganism is what? Is the worship of what's not in the Bible, what was not ordained by God. For example, Christmas is a pagan holiday, right? Valentine's Day is a pagan holiday. But Columbus Day is a pagan holiday. But what does the white man do? The white man combines it into religion. He forms a way to get it into religion where people worship and celebrate these days. But these days were not ordained by God to be worshipped. Those are pagan holidays. Read on.
The spirit of concession to paganism opened the way for a still further disregard of heaven's authority.
For heaven's authority, what's this talking about? For God's words. Like black people and Hispanics and Native Indian go around today thinking that Christmas is a day ordained by God, when that's a pagan holiday. It's a day created by the white man for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian to keep on further destroying themselves, going against God. Ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Read on.
Satan working through unconsecrated leaders of the church.
Unconsecrated leaders of the church, meaning these leaders of the church were leading blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians away from God. Just like Creflo Dollar and T.D. Jakes. They won't come out and tell you that Christmas Day ain't got nothing to do with Christ. They ain't gonna come and tell you that New Year's Day ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Ain't got nothing to do with the Bible, man. These are pagan worship holidays. Read on.
Tampered with the fourth commandment also.
Tampered with the what? With the fourth commandment. And what's that commandment? Let's get it. Turn me to Exodus. Give me Exodus 20:9. Let's see what the fourth commandment is, black man. The church that say here is only 10 commandments. Well, I don't see tithes in that 10 commandments. But the first, they want your tithe by the end of that month. By the first of that month, they want you to bring that money in, which to show you that the church is full of hypocrites, man. Ain't got nothing to do with 10 commandments. The 10 commandments was given to Moses as a token to let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian know that God was only dealing with one man on the earth at that time, and it was Moses. That's why God gave him that 10 commandment to go down to the people. Now let's see what the fourth is. Read Exodus 20:9. Exodus 20:9. It has it there, man. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it speaks about. Because these things, what we are bringing out here today, you all are never going to learn it in your Christian churches. You are never going to learn it in your Christian churches, man. Read.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 9. 6 days shalt thou labor.
6 days. You're going to work from Sunday to Friday. 6 days shall you labor, black man.
And do all thy work, but the seventh day.
But the what?
But the seventh day.
But the seventh day, read on,
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
It's your Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Meaning sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, man, is a Sabbath for your God, man. That's your rest day. That's the day you spend, you take your time, you chill, you relax with your family. You ain't got to do no work in that day. You understand? God gave us that day so that we could chill, relax. Because we were going to, he told us to work hard that 6 days, those 6 days. But rest on that day, man. But what did the white man do? The white man went and told us that Sunday is the day of rest for us. But that's a lie. That's another pagan holiday, man. Pagan worship of the sun.
That's right.
That's what they're doing in churches, man. Worshiping the sun. And it's a pagan holiday. They ain't teaching you nothing about this Bible. They ain't teaching us nothing about the Bible in these Christian churches. Read.
But The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
But the seventh day, not Sunday. Sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is your Sabbath day. Read on.
God, in it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter.
No, he's telling you, explaining to you what your Sabbath day is all about. Now carry me back to that book. Carry me back to that book on page 53, 52. Carry me back in the book on page 52. Let's bring it out, man. Let me show you that your Christian church is not teaching black people anything, man. Only teaching them a bunch of lies made up by the white man who sat down in councils and came up with these lies to destroy black people, man. Read.
The ancient Sabbath, the day which God had blessed and sanctified.
God blessed that day, man. He blessed that day and sanctified it, man. Sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, man. God blessed that day. Now skip me to page 53. Read that highlighted plot there.
In the early part of the 4th century, the Emperor Constantine.
Now this is in the 4th century. The early part of it. Constantine, who was a black man at that time, ruled the eastern side of Rome. Read.
Issued a decree.
He issued a decree, meaning he made this into law. Read on.
Making Sunday a public festival.
Making what?
Sunday a public festival.
Making Sunday a public festival. Sunday is not God's day, Sabbath day. It's a public festival that he decreed. Read on.
Throughout the Roman Empire.
Throughout the what?
The Roman.
And why do I say that? Because the white man goes against everything that God laid down from the beginning of time, man. The white man goes against it. He goes against it, man. So you know how to hate him? You do what God say to do, and you're going to hate the white man. Now let's get syncretism in the dictionary. In the Webster's dictionary. Let's dust it off, man. This is an old word here. Listen to this good. Clear your ears, black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian. Let's know what syncretism is. Read.
Syncretism. The combination.
The what?
The combination.
The combination. You putting Christmas into this Bible, that's the combination. You putting Thanksgiving in with this Bible, that's the combination. You saying that the Sabbath day is the Sunday is a combination of what?
Of different forms of belief.
Of different forms of what?
Of belief. Or practice.
Or practice. That's what the Christian church practices, man. Syncretism, man. Where they pull in all these pagan holidays into the church. That's not even in the Bible. It's not even in the Bible. Christmas is not even in the Bible, man. God tell us not to celebrate Christmas Day, man. He told us not to celebrate Independence Day. He told us not to celebrate Columbus Day. The days the white man put up as his holiday, he told us not to put it up, man, not to celebrate it. Now, give me this book. Give me this book. Give me the myth of the goddesses, page 550. Let me show you what they tied in to the Christian church also. Page 550. Page 550. What's the name of the book?
The myth of the goddess evolution of an image.
It's the myth, right? These things are stories. Like Zeus, Apollos, these are not real people. These are mythical stories. These are mythical stories. But the white man, he puts it up like it's reality and have black and Hispanic people worshiping his God, his sun God, Apollo, like it's a real God. But it's a false God. It's a lie. It's a pagan worship. Now read this. Read the highlighted part here.
Nonetheless, by AD 431.
By AD 431, this is all around the time of Constantine. Read.
Mark,
at a council in Ephesus.
Like, at a council in Ephesus, man. That's right, brother. That's right. That's right, man. At a council in Ephesus, man. This is what went on there. Read on.
Presided over by Cyril of Alexandria, Mary was proclaimed.
Well, hold on. Mary was what?
Proclaimed.
Mary was proclaimed. What is another pagan worship? The worship of Mary being a goddess. Oh, our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Oh, you can't tell them nothing about Mary. Santa Maria. You can't tell them nothing about her. That's pagan worship. And you're going to read about it here right now. That's why we say the church does what? Practice syncretism. It's the belief of where you combine paganism with the Bible. The Bible does not have Mary as no goddess. Mary is a normal, regular black woman who had a child that was great. And that child came from sex. From Joseph having sex with Mary. That's how Christ came about. Christ didn't come about by no God sticking his penis in Mary. That's, you know what they call that? They call that Greek mythology. That's where you get Zeus and all these, what's his name? Zeus and all these other goddesses, all these other gods. Hercules, Apollo, all these are just made up gods by the Greeks and Roman. Nike, all these things, man. Now, let's get it. Read.
Mary was proclaimed not just Christ bearer.
She was not just proclaimed Christ bearer,
but bearer Theotokos. So what had happened by the 4th century, the status of not Christ bearer, but God bearer.
But she was not just proclaimed to be what? Christ. They didn't just say Mary bore Christ. They say Mary bore God. That's where they sat down in a council. Men came up with these lies and combined it with the Bible. And now you got Roman Catholics, man. Catholicism. You got Roman Catholics, Christianity, believing in these lies men sat down in a council to come up with. Hail Mary, Holy Mary, Mother of God. All these things were men sitting in a council coming up with. That's not in the Bible, black man, Hispanic men, and Native Indian. These were things created by men. Now read on.
So what happened by the 4th century? The status of Mary was obviously already a matter of concern.
It's already another matter of concern. Mary comes from the worship of Diana. When you read in Acts of the Apostles, man, you're going to hear a name mentioned, Diana of Ephesus. All that was the worship of Mary coming up. All these things we do today are all things we worship back then. The white man just gave it a new name and make it look good. Put a new shine in it and make it look good. Now skip me down to this verse here. Read.
Ephesus was significantly the very place where the great temple to Artemis or Diana, as she was called in Roman times.
She was what?
Called in Roman times.
That's Artemis was what? Was a Greek goddess. Diana was the name called by the Romans. And today, you know what we call her? Mary. That's what we call her today, Mary. Yeah. Show them the front, man. Show them the front of this book right here, man. Show them it, man. All these things were made up by the white man. Well, men sat in councils and brought up. Ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. No. Skip me to here. Right here.
Cybele had been mother of the gods. Salaki. The implications of this position were addressed in AD 451.
And that's it, man. In AD 451, that's when they had another council. That's what should show you what? That the Bible speaks the truth. But you know who lied on the Bible? Man lied on the Bible. Man lied and said, God, that that God said to love everybody. Men lie in the Bible and say that Mary was the mother of God. Men lie in this Bible and say what? That the Sabbath day was Sunday, which was the worship of a sun god. It's a lie. All these things we learn in these churches, man. We have learned lies upon lies. And we have seen. Now, the proof of it is what? The proof of it is what? Now, look at this, man. Give him that book. This is a picture of Artemis. This is a picture of Artemis. Come take a look at this picture. All it did was take all the breasts off of her and put a dress on and call her Mary. That's the ancient Egyptian god that the Greeks, the ancient goddess, that the goddess of fertility, that the Greeks held on to, that the Romans held on to and called Diana, and that America and the so-called Roman Catholic hold on to and call Mary today. Read it. Read this here. Read right to the bottom here where it's highlighted. Read.
Diana, the Roman goddess of the moon.
The Roman goddess of what?
Of the moon. A daughter of Jupiter.
A daughter of what?
Of Jupiter. She was a twin sister of Apollo.
Of what?
Of Apollo.
That's your Sunday worship of the god called Apollo. Diana's what?
The twin sister of Apollo.
And who is she the mother of? Who is she the mother of? She's the mother of so-called, they say so-called Christ. Read. Read from the top.
The Roman goddess of the moon, a daughter of Jupiter. She was a twin sister of Apollo, who was associated with the sun. And she was with the moon.
And she was with the moon. Which shows you what? Christianity is paganism tied in with the Bible, man. That's why we go in churches and we look for help. But what happens? Our kids get molested. The pastor ends up sleeping with our wife, having kids with these women. Why? Because in the church, you don't go to learn about God. You don't go to learn about God in no Christian church, man. You learn lies in the Christian church. You learn lies in these mosques. That's what you learn, man. That's what you learn in these churches. But in this Bible, man, now carry me back to Leviticus, man. Carry me to Leviticus. Carry me back to Leviticus, man. We show you, man, what God said to celebrate, man. He laid out days for us to celebrate. But why they ain't bringing all these things in the churches, man? Why they ain't bringing all these things in the churches? Why? Because the church was actually set up to keep blacks and Hispanics and Native Indian down, to keep us oppressed. That's why, what do they say? They say what? That a white man used the Bible to enslave black people. That was a lie, man. This Bible frees blacks and Hispanics of the white man. But when you got wicked men like L. Sharpton, Creflo Dollar, and T. Jakes, they are going to make you march into the hands of the white man. And the biggest culprit of them all is, you know, Martin Luther King, man. Told us to join hand in hand with this man. Read Leviticus 1, 23 and 1. Get 23 and 1. Read. Let's get Leviticus 23 verse 1. Read.
Leviticus chapter 23 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel.
So who is Moses speaking to? The children of Israel. And who make up the children of Israel? These people on the sign here, these 12 tribes. And to summarize it, it's just the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And Moses is speaking to them right now. Read.
And say unto them, concerning the feasts of the Lord.
Concerning the what?
The feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
To be a holy convocation. Meaning we were supposed to observe these days in Leviticus 23. And what we're speaking about right now is that Sabbath day, man. Sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, man. You want to learn how to serve God, man, the right way? Get a flyer, come to the I.S.U.P.K, man. Leave those churches alone, man. It ain't helping black people, man. More churches going up and the jail cells are being full up more every year. More churches are going up and blacks are being killed in the streets. Hispanic people are being killed in the streets, man. And more churches are going up every year. Go take a look at what, 14th Street, full of churches. And watch 16th Street, full of churches. And watch D.C. Watch the blacks and Hispanics in D.C. be destroyed in this place, man. And why? Because we joined paganism with the Bible. And God is against that, man. Now read on.
Even these are my feet. 6 days shall work be done.
What?
6 days shall work be done. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
But the 7th is the Sabbath of rest. That's your Friday sundown. As soon as the sun go down, it's the beginning of Saturday, man. And the end of Saturday is when sun go down tomorrow. Sundown tomorrow is the end of Saturday. That's the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day ain't the worship of no sun god called Sunday. That ain't the worship, man. That's the worship of Apollo. That's the white man pagan god that he has us worshiping in these churches, man. That's why we say that Christian church does not do what the Bible say to do. The Christian church does not do what the Bible say to do, man. The Roman Catholic Church does not do what this Bible says to do, man. Now read on. I'm going to prove it right here. Read on.
And holy convocation, ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord.
It's the Sabbath of the Lord. Now read on.
In all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons, in the 14th day of the...
Now, listen to this good. Let's see if the Christian church celebrates this day. Now, this was a day that Moses got from God to proclaim to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to celebrate. Now, read on.
In the 14th day of the first month, at even in the Lord's Passover.
It's the what?
The Lord's Passover.
It's the Lord's Passover. Do Christians celebrate Passover? Oh no, they celebrate something called Easter, which is a pagan holiday. Which is the worship of who? Esther. Esther. That was a pagan worship all the way back to the Babylonian Empire. But what is this Bible say you're supposed to worship? What?
The Lord's Passover.
The Lord's Passover. That's when God did what? Kill all Egyptian firstborn and save his people. And God gave us a day to celebrate for the debt he inflicted on the Egyptians to free us. And he wants us to remember that day. But the Christian churches don't remember that day. You know what day they want to put up? They want to put up Christmas. Christmas. Let me show you in this Bible that Christmas is not a day to be celebrated in this Bible. It's another worship of pagan holiday, man. Now, carry me to Jeremiah 10 and 1. Carry me to Jeremiah 10 and 1. Let me show you, black man, that all these holidays that they have us holding in these Christian churches is against God. It's a worship of pagan holiday, man. Jeremiah 10 and 1. Right, and then Columbus Day is what? About 2 Mondays, two weeks again. And we're gonna be what? Celebrating Columbus Day. A man who what? Who did not discover America, who did not discover the Caribbean. But we're gonna celebrate a man who murdered Native Indians, who murdered Hispanic people. And they want us to forget about slavery. But they want us to remember Columbus Day, when Columbus murdered Hispanics and Native Indians so that America be called America today. Don't tell me that, man. Now let's get Jeremiah 10 and 1. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you.
Hear the word which the Lord spoke unto blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Let's see if the churches Let's see if you all ever read this in the Christian church or in the Catholic church. Let's see if this was ever brought out, man. Read.
O house of Israel.
O house of Israel. And who make up that house of Israel? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The so-called people on the side right here. Read on.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn what?
Not the way of the heathen.
Sundays, worshiping God on a Sunday is the way of what?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
That's you learning the way of the heathen. And God said, learn not the way of the heathen. You go to church on Sunday, you are worshiping the sun god called Apollo, man. Ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Ain't got nothing to do with God. Now read on. But let's see what is he speaking about here. In Jeremiah, read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, man. You don't be dismayed when God sent a tornado or a hurricane. Don't be dismayed at that. The white man is dismayed at that, man. Thank you, sister. Get a fly from the table here, man. Don't be dismayed. The white man, he is full out dismayed at it, man. Come out on TV and say, man, I don't know, Mother Nature ain't Mother Nature, it's God. God who sent that tornado, God sent that flood, God sent that earthquake. Read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them, for the customs of the people are vain.
For the what?
The customs of the people are vain.
For the custom of the people are vain. And what is going to go into is Christmas, man. Christmas was long time ago, where this man called Nimrod and his mother Semiramis. Nimrod died, and his mother planted an evergreen tree on his grave. And she told the people to bring gifts and put under that tree, because that was Nimrod. Nimrod was in that tree. And the people who did not do what his mother said, she cut their heads off and hang it on a tree. That's where you got that ball hanging on that Christmas tree from long before. That was man head, woman head on that tree, man, being hanged, because they didn't worship that holiday, that pagan holiday. So he's saying, don't be dismayed, don't be scared, don't be afraid. Read on.
For the customs of the people are vain.
For the custom of the people are vain. Meaning to celebrate Christmas is nothing to the Most High, man. It means nothing to the Most High. It's vain. Christ was not born on the 25th of no December. That was so-called Nimrod's holiday, man, birthday. That was not Christ's birthday. Christ was not born in the dead of the winter. When you look into the scriptures, Christ was born around the time of spring. That's when he was born, around tax time. He was not born in December 25th. You're not celebrating Christmas in December, black man. You are celebrating a pagan holiday called Christmas, man.
When nowadays I work hard on the job, till I come cross shore, still like I'm a criminal. Trying to get caught, it could be your first charge. Like, man, you ain't getting the minimum. It gon' dip, squat, 5 mile run, push, pull, sit on, goddamn, get strong. Looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long before they grown, I can't leave them on their own. They killed Daddy like he had a 30-day cake. The news covering up the story for what they say. It took me by